guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. First of all, we are finally into 2019. I'm super excited about that. We're definitely going to get into a lot of things in this video. It's probably going to be a long video as well. So this is going to be a chatty life update video. So like I said, you're definitely going to want to grab a snack for this video. I'm sorry about the mouth movements right now. I legit just changed my Invisalign trays and my mouth is killing me. I feel like I legit just got punched in the mouth. Make sure you grab a snack, a drink, whatever it is, your tea, hot, cold, however you are feeling. And let's get into this chit chat life update get ready with me video. Pretty much I'm gonna start off by priming my skin, and to do that I'm gonna use my Origins pore perfecting cooling primer. Then I'm gonna follow up with my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter primer. I wanted to do a life update video partly because there's just been so many things going on, so many things moving, not moving for the most part, and I really felt like I just really needed to update you all on things that have been happening with me so that you can understand why some things, especially at the end of 2018, kind of happened the way that they did. I'll say that we started with the month of, the month of December for the most part. I'll start there, then I'll bring you guys up to speed with a lot of other things. But with the month of December, I went in with the intention of doing Vlogmas. Now, Vlogmas is, you know, a lot of people do Vlogmas differently. They do maybe 25 plus days of vlog style videos where it might be things that they're doing every day, or, you know, things that they find would be helpful during like the Christmas season. So whether it's shopping or like, events that they're going to, things that they're doing with friends and family, and they pretty much just include it in these videos. Now, I was gonna do Vlogmas where I was grouping my videos into 3-day series. So it would be like December 1st through the 3rd, then it would be like the 4th through the 6th, and so on and so forth. Now, I started doing it, and what happened was some of the times when I would be going out, I wasn't taking my actual vlogging camera. I use my cell phone for a lot of things, my phone for a lot of things. Ew, cell phone, who even says that? But like I ended up using my phone for a lot of the videos that I was creating, partly because I was gonna have the phone anyway, and I just felt like it would be a lot easier with me carrying the phone versus having to figure out a way for me to also carry my camera. I didn't want to necessarily be walking down the street with just, you know, holding the camera in hand or like on my tripod, which is what it normally stays on. Partly because, you know, I didn't want anyone to run by and like snatch it out of my hand, or, you know, just having to actually carry it around. The camera's not that heavy, but I mean, like once you attach it to the tripod and you're holding it for hours, it does feel like it put on some weight. So I really didn't want to have to go through that. And there were times when I was going out that I really didn't want to have to carry a bigger bag or another bag just to put the camera in. So I found it a lot easier to just go in and record things with my iPhone. Like I said, because I was going to have the phone anyway, and the phone is, you know, small enough to still fit in whatever bag I was carrying. But also the phones are so advanced now that it's like I can get 1080p and 4K quality from my phone, so why not? So pretty much it's like I started with Vlogmas, and it's like I got out 3 videos and I was feeling pretty good about those videos, but then I just felt like some of the stuff I was doing wasn't necessarily like Christmas related, so I kind of started feeling a little off about it. And then I try not to let it get to me, but of course it's like if I'm going through the hassle of, you know, trying to record things that I'm doing from, you know, on a daily basis and whatever else, I want to make sure that you guys are also watching. So I wasn't getting like a lot of views, and it was like, I don't know if it was because you all are not used to seeing some like Vlogmas style videos or what, but it was like that kind of started weighing on me. I was going through like a lot of other issues, some things family related as well, and it was just like it all just became too much. So it was easier for me to just go out whenever I was going out and just like enjoy whatever it was I was doing without having to worry about recording it for a vlog. And it really just became like a lot. And then aside from that, like I said, with going through some of the personal issues that I was going through around the time, it was just like, damn, I messed up. I meant to include my Smashbox primer water. This primer water is lit as fuck. And then I really just became like, I was experiencing more like anxiety than usual. And I was like, oh my God, like I seriously have to take a break and just like figure things out, because we were coming up to the end of the year and I really wanted to finish off the year strong. I feel like I started the year on a really good foot and I wanted to finish off on a good foot. And it didn't matter what I did, what I told myself, it just was not working. Like I was just really anxious, and there were some days where I legit just didn't do any work at all. And part of it, I felt like I was kind of experiencing an episode of depression, but I didn't want to get so far into it. So I had to figure out, you know, things that were going to take me out of that and make me feel better. And I just felt like trying to keep up with recording like the vlogs and things like that, it was just too much. Like I said, I didn't want to like go through a serious bout or like episode of being depressed or, you know, having that feeling. So I was like, you know, I'm just going to chill out with this for now. If I pick back up, I'll pick back up. But if not, it's not a big deal. You know, I'll still upload to stories, anything that I'm doing, you know, hanging out, I'll still upload that kind of stuff. But in terms of like having to make sure that I have like enough content to create a vlog or like anything like that, I couldn't. So I really had to step back and, you know, take a step back from actually completing Vlogmas. I'm of course upset about it because like I said, I set out with the intention to do it. But it was like once I started doing it and I got into the swing of things, I was annoyed. I just wasn't happy with the way things were going. So Vlogmas unfortunately got put on the back burner for 2018. I'm just hoping that by the end of this year, I will be in a much better position and feeling a lot better, that I'll be able to, you know, really complete Vlogmas and go into it and do it the way I set out or, you know, had hoped to do. So that's what pretty much happened with the end of the year. And it's like, I didn't necessarily want to take a break because like I said, at the end of the year, I really wanted to finish off the way that I started. And like I said, I feel like I started 2018 on a really high note, on a really good foot. But it was just like, it was just a lot. And I just couldn't keep up anymore. So it's like I chose to do things that I felt, you know, made me happy and made me feel okay. So if that meant that I wasn't doing work, but I was hanging out with friends, that's what I was doing. Just because it was like the energy was needed. I just felt like a lot better being out of the house and not having to necessarily think about work in that sense of it, and just like really enjoying time with my friends and just, you know, enjoying myself and, you know, taking a breather. The thing is, 2018, I had some really high moments, but also had some really low moments as well. Work related, I felt like 2018 was just like shaping up for a lot of different things. Work related was cool. Personal was also great at the start of 2018. It was just like, I just felt like everything was just coming together for the most part. So 2018, some highs that I had. My birthday, I feel like, is always, well, I can't say always, but I normally enjoy my birthday for the most part. So of course, turning another year older. I shot with L'Oreal for the Halloween campaign, which was in Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, Target circulars, pretty much nationwide, anywhere that you can find. It was online, Pinterest. It was popping up in advertising, and I was getting tagged in some of the ads that people were seeing and things like that, which was of course dope. Of course, with the kind of work that I do, it's like anytime you can celebrate those victories, it's always a bomb moment. It just lets you know that you're headed in the right direction and you're doing the right things, that, you know, people are noticing the work that you are doing and they feel like, you know, hey, we would love to have you be part of this. We think you would be great for this. And, you know, they reach out to you based off of that. So working with L'Oreal for the Halloween campaign was a high. What else did I do? I traveled to LA again for BeautyCon. That was dope with As I Am. I went to New Orleans as a headliner along with 2 other influencers for a natural hair expo in New Orleans last year, while also enjoying Essence Fest the same weekend and just like hanging out, having fun there. What else? I went to Jamaica with Tropic Isle. I'm actually wearing the tank top right now. You guys can't see it. But I actually went to Jamaica with Tropic Isle as well. That was a really fun trip. I attended a Nigerian wedding, which was my first actual like Nigerian or African wedding in a sense. And that was really dope, partly because, I mean, Nigerians know how to party, I will say that. But also, I got a lot of love off of the outfit that my friend designed for me. Like we met a few times and just like shot some various ideas around, and just to see the dress come to life after meeting and doing measurements and picking fabric and everything like that was just like really bomb. But also the fact that so many people on social media were actually talking about this one wedding, because so many people that they knew from various parts of their lives and whatever else were at this one wedding was just like insane. And then I feel like, oh, I also, I guess rekindled a friendship that I had lost, and I hadn't spoken to this person seriously for like 5 years. We had a really nasty falling out back in 2013. Some things were said they shouldn't have been said, but we actually met up and we just like hashed out everything just to, you know, move past it for the most part. Partly because this person was legit. Should have planned this properly, needed my brushes. But, you know, this person was a really good friend of mine at one point, and it was just like, initially when we fell out, it was just like, it needed to happen in my opinion. I just felt like it was just like really nasty, some things that had happened throughout our relationship. But when I think about it, and I think about, of course, like all the good times that we did have, and I ain't gonna lie, I was a little salty. She did get married last year as well. And of course, because we weren't speaking, I wasn't invited to the wedding. I didn't attend the wedding. But after we had our discussion, and to know that, you know, she did miss me not being there. And, you know, I was upset that I wasn't there, because I knew that when her and her now husband, when they first got together, like I was like, girl, this is it. Like he's gonna be it. And we used to discuss like her wedding and her dress and all of this other stuff. And of course, just to like see everything come to life and not be a part of it, it sucked. But we definitely fixed our relationship. We had a nice little brunch one day and just, you know, sat and we talked for hours about everything that had happened and like where we were at in our lives, things that we were doing, things that we wanted to do, you know, places we were going and things like that. So it was just really refreshing to have that conversation and, you know, no longer have to avoid necessarily having this conversation because, you know, we do have mutual friends. So it used to get a little awkward when my friends would be talking about it and I'm just sitting there like, I don't care. I'm not involved. So it's just like, I don't want to hear about it. What else was a high of last year? Any brand sponsorships that I was lucky enough to have, or just like being able to meet with some brands that, you know, we know or I know and love, or, you know, things like that. Working with L'Oreal and makeup.com for like monthly content was a high as well. Just to know that L'Oreal, you know, picked me to work with them on a monthly basis was just like, was insane. So that was also really dope. Creating new friendships, lasting friendships, people that are within the industry, of course. I really can't think of anything else right now, and I feel like I'm going to be upset when I look at this and be like, oh, damn, I forgot to include. But, you know, there were a lot of high... Oh, going to Greece was another high moment as well. I Honestly, didn't think I would be able to go to Greece, let alone afford it, but it was probably one of the best trips I've been on. Um, it was just really nice, especially because it looks like what you see on the photos. So to actually be there and see that in real life, in person, it's tangible, I can touch it, which is really dope. Like, I would go back to Greece, definitely. It was a long travel to get there, but it was definitely worth it. So I would definitely go back to Greece. Like I said, I had some really high moments of 2018. But of course, with your highs, there are lows as well. I think what I feel like I really didn't have a lot of lows until like the third and fourth quarter of the year. It was like I had a lot of high moments throughout the year at the beginning, first and second quarter, and part like the beginning of third quarter. And then it was just like from the second half of third quarter until the end of 2018. That's when I experienced more of my lows. One low in particular is that I'm quite sure it might be a little more obvious at this point. But even then, I can't even say that because I feel like people are still like a little like, what the hell, or like not sure. But my boyfriend and I are no longer, well, ex at this point, we're no longer together. That was a really low moment for me this year. It was just like the way that it happened, it was just, in my opinion, it was just nasty the way that it happened. And I say that because it's like, if you're like, we're supposed to be friends aside from just, you know, being in a relationship. And I just felt like the way that it came up, it was just, it was nasty. I didn't deserve the way that it came up, you know, how it happened and things like that. And I legit didn't do any work for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, because the only thing I could do was get up long enough to feed my cat, my dog. I would walk my dog maybe if I had the strength or the energy to do it. And I would just get back in my bed and cry for hours. And I did that for 2 weeks. My appetite was so, I'm trying not to get upset, but like my appetite was just like thrown off so bad that I barely was eating. I texted one of my friends, I'm like, yo, honestly, if I lost 5 pounds within these 2 weeks, I really wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it was just like I said, it was a low moment. You know, of course, it hurt. It still hurts once in a while, not as much as it did in the beginning, but I'm trying not to get upset right now, probably because there's a camera in my face. But you know, things happen, people grow apart. But the way that, like I said, it transpired, I didn't deserve that at all. And it upset me more so after the fact where, you know, having mutual friends for one, and things like that, and knowing, you know, some of the same people and having to potentially, you know, end up in the same spaces. It's never easy. It's never comfortable. But of course, it's going to happen. It's going to come down to it. And I feel like how you react and how you handle it in those situations is what's going to be the determining factor. But yeah, like that was a really low moment of 2018 for me. And like I said, I didn't do any work for like 2 weeks because the only thing I could do was just lay around and cry. And closing out like that second week, my mom was like, you know, I understand that you're upset. She was like, you know, you have the right to be upset. I understand that you're hurting. You have the right to hurt. She was like, you know, but we have things to do. And, you know, we have to get up. We have to go to work. We have to do, you know, all of the stuff that, you know, there are things that still have to happen. She says, so you laying around not doing anything and, you know, being hurt and crying. She was like, you know, I get it, but, you know, we have things that we're trying to do, so you can't do this. She's like, you know, you have goals and things like that that you're trying to reach, that you're trying to accomplish. So the fact that you think you're going to lay around and cry because you're hurt, she's like, you know, the show has to go on. She says, so if you get up now, you do your work, and then maybe you get back in bed later and cry. She's like, that's one thing, but the work still has to be done. So I felt like after I had that conversation, I feel like I just really got up and I just really was punching it with the work. Like, I felt like the quality of my videos was a lot better. The quality was a lot better. I was producing a lot more work that I was happy with. I felt like I just became lighter after that. I just really became lighter after having that conversation. And I felt like this is what I did on New Year's Eve, just so you guys know, so that my face was on here all night. But like, I just felt lighter. I just felt like the content that I was producing was just like a lot better. My videos were looking a lot better. And part of it was because I no longer had to worry about somebody else's feelings when it came down to my work, or, you know, how long I would be working, how much work I was going to do and things like that. Because of course, when you're in a relationship, especially for what I do, you of course want to make sure that you are seeing your significant other. All right, I got some really big like glitter flecks on my face, but we'll figure that out. From this Fix Plus, it has like shimmer in it, but some of the flecks that have landed are like huge. But it's like, you know, for what I do, I would want to record like 2 or 3 videos in a sitting. But of course, if let's say the 3rd video didn't get done because I made plans to link with you at 5 o'clock and it's already 3 o'clock, I still have to get dressed and then, you know, make my way to, whether it's out to where he lived or like meet up wherever it was that we were linking. I couldn't get a 3rd video done. So it's just like, I no longer had to worry about that. I didn't have to consider anyone else's feelings when it came down to my work. So I was just able to work how I wanted to, when I wanted to, at the rate that I wanted to, and be okay with it. So I just felt like my work looked a lot better. I was happier with some of the content that I was producing or able to produce. I unfortunately didn't get to participate in my Halloween series the way I wanted to because I had such a late start. So I was supposed to have way more videos done than what I was able to kick out because, hold on. But I should have had more videos done for Halloween, but because I was going through the bullshit that I was going through, I wasn't able to work at the rate that I wanted to. And it's just like, I had to get over that initial hurt of what had happened in order to be able to function. Because there's no way I can sit up somewhere and record a video for an hour or 2 hours and be the level of hurt that I was and not cry throughout the video or not break down at some part during the video. So it didn't make sense to do, and I just was not going to do that to myself to have to re-record the video later. It just didn't make sense. So I needed to take that initial time for myself so that I could get it together for October and work at the rate that I was comfortable working. So I'm trying to think what other low moments there were for me. One thing I did say, I felt like I definitely did a lot of favors in 2018. Now, some of those favors were friend related, who have businesses, brands, of course, favors and things like that. There are some that you willingly do, you know, depending on who the brand is, I guess your relationship and how you feel. But when I felt like I started doing more favors than actual business, and when I realized it later on, it of course was a problem for me. Like, I shouldn't have to be stressed about where my next, you know, payment is coming from, or how I'm going to be able to pay my bills because I did a favor. And when I felt like I was in that position and I was like, all right, there's no way I should do this, but you know, this brand has this content, or you know, these other people have this content for me, and the only thing I got from it was free product, that's when it became problematic. So, I mean, I feel like some of the things that I have been posting, and I feel like that's also where some people started catching on that I no longer was in a relationship, because some of the things that I was posting. Granted, I feel like I know people in relationships and they'll post something outlandish and random like that, or have people confused as hell, but then they'll, you know, be at home with their boyfriend as they're posting it. So I just felt like people started like really trying to put two and two together, but nobody was really sure. I did have a couple of people that asked me, and I, you know, I either beat around the bush, or I said, but I didn't really say, kind of thing. And part of that is like, I just wasn't ready to talk about it. I have to be ready to talk about something on my own terms. Like, just because you ask me doesn't mean that I'm obligated to say, yeah, like this is what happened, or whatever the case may be. I have to be ready to divulge that information. Yes, I'm very well aware of the job that I have, and that, you know, you all expect me to share. I'm not mad at it. Part of it, you know, I did sign up for this. Hopefully I'm picking up at the right spot because my camera legit just cut off. But, you know, part of my job is to share. So it's like, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, I shouldn't have to feel obligated or pressured to share something just because someone asked me a question about it. So with this moment, I was going to have to be ready to talk about it. I was going to have to be ready to discuss it, which is the only way and reason I'm able to even talk about it now on camera, is because I felt like in order for me to begin my new year properly and not feel any, you know, feel crazy or feel any kind of way about what was happening or what had happened, was that I was going to have to be ready to discuss it. So I'm trying to think. But yeah, I did a lot of favors last year. I won't be doing that many favors this year. That's just that. Of course, it's like I said, you have some people that you don't mind doing favors for. But at the end of the day, it's like everybody, for me especially, it's like everybody should be able to get their bills paid or have their bills paid. And when I said I feel like I'm in a position where I'm like, all right, I did hella favors, and it's like, I know your bills is paid, but I'm sitting up here trying to get my shit together and pay my bills. And I'm like, yo, I could have been did this, or I could have did more of that. Partly because I did a favor instead of sending an invoice. That's when it becomes problematic. That's just what it boils down to. So yeah, I definitely won't be doing a ton of favors this year, especially coming up to like the end of the year. Definitely. Ciao. Holiday time and struggling, a dub. But you know, you're able to do whatever it is that you needed to do for your family and your friends for the holidays. But that's a different discussion. So definitely hair related. Of course, I got some questions. So if you have been following me, you will know that I cut my hair back in June into a tapered cut. Part of it was because around that time, I really just needed something different. I was getting bored with how I looked. And you know, it was one of those things with having longer hair, and my hair was dark. So it was just like this dark hair. It looked good, yes, but it was just like there was nothing spicy about it. And for me, I'm the kind of person that I need spice. So that's why I got a lot more comfortable last year with getting braids and just like, well, even before this, but like I had cut my hair just because I needed something different that was going to change things up for me. So I cut my hair, and then of course once it started growing out, now I'm, you know, trying new styles and trying new things and whatever else, things that I like, you know, just because, like I said, I needed something different. But I am growing my hair out now. Part of it is because I really just miss having longer hair, and I really don't think there's anything wrong with that or me saying that. I do miss having longer hair. Aside from that, yeah, I really just miss having longer hair because I felt like there were just so many things that I could do a lot more easily without having to worry about if there was going to be an issue because, you know, my hair is short. So like getting my hair braided, it's cool, but sometimes the back doesn't last as long as I would like it to last or need it to last because the hair is so short, so it gets pulled out of the braid a lot easier. Or like when I create my ponytail or high bun styles, the hair in the back and maybe like on the sides is slipping out because it's so damn short, but the top is, you know, I can put that in a ponytail easily and not think twice about it. What else? Braids. Oh, and even for like New Year's Eve, so I had to take that ponytail out. Jolene, her name is Jolene. Jolene did an amazing job, but I kid y'all not, y'all, my head was itching. I was ready for that damn ponytail to come out just so I could like scratch my scalp the way I really wanted to scratch it. But like, even with that, she had to put the ponytail a little more to like, it wasn't dead in the middle. It was like over to the right a little bit because my hair was so short. So she had to make sure that there was something for the hair to catch on to. I'm not mad at it. I get it, but it just became a hassle doing that. And I'm just like, yo, like, I don't have the time for this. If I had longer hair, none of this would be an issue. So I'm just going to grow it out. Trying to think what else. I'm also coloring my hair again. Like I said, I need spice, and the blonde color that I had from like 2014, 2015-ish was a look. So I'm going back to that, that color for the most part, or somewhere around there, just because, like I said, I just need something spicy. And that color, it was just a look. My hair was still easy to manage. And it wasn't like shedding, or I didn't have to get a haircut every 2 months or something like that. But it was just still a lot easier to manage, but a lot spicier than just having super dark hair. So I'm going to go back to, I'm going to revisit that again. And I feel amazing already. I've already had like one color session. I'll be having another color session pretty soon for the most part. I definitely want to get it done before my birthday actually rolls in. So I'm going to have to call Reese and be like, sis, can you hook the girl up? Can you hook a good sis up? I also got asked about 2019 plans. Oh, one thing I did want to say though, I am currently deep conditioning my hair. Like I said, I legit just snatched that ponytail off late last night before I got into bed because I really just wanted to feel what it was like to scratch a scalp again. So I really just snatched that ponytail off late last night. So I've already washed my hair. I use my Redken cleansing cream, conditioner, shampoo, which is a clarifying shampoo. And then I used a really good treatment on top of that. So I'm just, you know, letting that marinate and letting that sit. And then, you know, I'll rinse that out and actually like style my hair. But for right now, we had to rock this really cute, like, you know, turban look. I'm quite sure you can hear like the baggy crunching underneath, but we had to do a really cute turban look. 2019 plans. So I do have some sponsored content coming up. which I am excited about. Just shooting also fun content that I enjoy, that I love. I'm really big into sneakers, and I have been big into sneakers for years. This is back in junior high days. I've been into sneakers, so just creating more content around sneakers. I do have some videos that I owe you guys from last year, and I'm definitely going to, you know, get around to filming those. But I really just wanted to start the new year off with, with this video in particular, because I felt like I kind of owed you guys an explanation as to what happened with any December videos and content. But I also just wanted to bring you up to speed so you can understand, you know, where I'm at in my life, what I'm doing, why some things have been happening the way that they've been happening, etc. And like I said, I really just wanted to fill you all in on that. Trying to think what else. Also, like I said, I definitely have been asked about oh yeah, 2019 plans. That's what I was talking about. I have like a one-track mind, and I'm trying to be focused on this eye look as well. But I do have some sponsored content, videos that I owe you guys, more sneaker content as well. I also owe you guys, and I hope you don't hate me, but a video about my Invisalign journey. I honestly was really unsure as to how I was going to do this video, if I was going to do this video, because at one point I wasn't even sure if I was going to continue with the treatment. That's how bad it got at one point. But I will definitely discuss all of that in the actual video when I update you all about Invisalign, how it's been, my journey, and all of that other good stuff. So that video is definitely coming. I owe you guys like my December favorites, which I have a few items to include in that I did love. I do have some sponsored content coming up, like I said, but there are some things that I definitely want to get on for this year. Some brands that I haven't worked with, but brands that I've loved for years. I definitely want to try to make that happen for myself this year. I feel like I did pretty well last year, like I said, with some of the brands that I did work with, and the content that I was able to create that was sponsored. But of course, it's like as you continue on, you want to go, you want to do more, you want to create more, you want to work with brands that you know, love and might not have worked with and things like that. So I think it's just like a matter of expanding at this point and just really feeling good about where I am in my career. I'm rebuilding my website. That should be complete very soon. So I'm thinking about selling merch. You know, I have a few ideas for that. I'm not going to say what they are, but I definitely have some ideas for that. Which of course will be exciting, will be fun. Oh, and another thing, I haven't really discussed it with you guys, but I've been shooting the idea with like friends and stuff like that. I'm thinking about taking clients for the 2019 year. And when I say clients, I talk about makeup clients. So I'm definitely thinking about, you know, doing some makeup related things for you all, with you all. So of course, as I get more information and as that becomes something that's more in depth, I'll definitely let you guys know. All right, so I don't remember where I was. I definitely did put my lashes on as well. So I'm hoping I'm picking up at the right spot. But travel plans for this year, I don't have anything set in stone at the moment, but sorry, I need all focus for this. But I am hoping to take a trip with my best friend, Style by Reese. I don't know why, but for some reason, people still think that we are, that we aren't as close as we are, but we've been friends since we were like 3-4 years old. Since we were like 3-4 years old. So, ooh, sorry, y'all. I'm just hoping to take a trip with her sometime this year, somewhere nice and hot, definitely. That's one trip, but also with another trip, possibly my friends from high school, we're still like really close now. So you've definitely seen them on like my Insta story and stuff like that before. But my high school friends to go to Africa. There's like a big weekend and a big deal in Africa. What is it, Afrochella and things like that. So we're definitely talking about going this year. That's in December, so I have some time. I don't really have too many other trips lined up right now. And part of that is because it is still very early in the year. So, you know, I don't know what's going to come, anything like that right now. So, you know, as the year goes on, we'll definitely figure things out as they come up. I definitely would like to travel, of course, for work. The first two travel plans that I mentioned are mainly for just like my enjoyment, my pleasure. Of course, will turn into work at some point because I'll be trying to capture content and whatever else it is I'm going to be doing out there, vlogging, things like that. But I definitely would like to take a work-related trip. You know, those are always fun, but it just lets me know that, you know, a brand sees me, sees what I'm doing, they like what I'm doing and things like that. So that's always cool. Trying to think. Those are probably like the only two travel plans that I have at the moment. I don't think if there's anything else. I think those are definitely the main two trips that are going to be a focus this year. Like I said, until something else possibly, hopefully, will come up. So right now I'm just sweeping or packing like a little bit of the eyeshadow that's on my lid onto my lower lash line. So I think that's pretty much it for my travel plans. Like I said, unless something hopefully will come up. So of course, I'm trying to be more positive this year, I will say. Just being more positive and being more open to things that will potentially come up career-wise, but also in my day-to-day, just trying to keep an open mind at this point. I think that's it for travel. I'm definitely hoping to move out this year. That's something that's really high on my list. I would love to move out. We all know how New York City is. If you are in New York, New York is very expensive, it's a very expensive place to live in. So I'm just hoping that I can do what I have to do in order to move out this year. That's really high on my list, like I said. All right, so I'm just gonna finish up by adding some highlighter. But yeah, moving out, like I said, definitely trying to be more positive about things that are going to be happening, things that are going to be in the works. Trying to think if there's anything else that I touched on here, touched on my relationship status. What else is there to touch on? I feel like those are like the basics of things that were asked of me and things that people wanted to know. And I feel like I answered a lot of that. Somebody asked to spill the tea, but I feel like I spilled a lot of the tea already. But also one thing I don't like doing is if I did have anything in the works, like brand related and things like that, I don't want to spill tea before it's like the actual appropriate time to spill tea, because I feel like you can trip yourself up. But anything that I'm speaking of right now, nothing is really set in stone. I'm just pretty much playing it by ear at this point. I am hoping to be a lot more consistent with YouTube this year. I feel like that's definitely the big thing that I really need to work on for myself, is just being more consistent. And just continuing to provide you all with quality content. I feel like I said, the looks of my videos and like photos and things like that, the quality has definitely gone up. So it's just a matter of keeping that up, but also continuing to build my platforms, continuing to grow on my channel. So YouTube, definitely, I would like to hit 10K at least by the end of the month. So I have to figure out my strategy, my game plan for things that I'm gonna do to get that going for the most part. But like I said, just being more consistent, trying to do at least 2 to 3 video uploads a week. And making sure, like I said, I continue to provide you guys with quality content so that we can continue to grow and not only create things that I like just because I want to share them with you all, but so that I can continue to do this job in particular. So that's pretty much it. I really hope that you all enjoyed this very chatty get ready with me video. I'm really excited for 2019 just to see what is to come, what I'm capable of doing. Of course, I feel like that's the big thing for me. Like I said, 2018 really was a year of really good highs. And of course, like I said, when it was low, it was just really low. So now that I'm out of that, I'm feeling really good about the year. So I'm just trying to be more positive, and just really hopeful for the future. Not only within my personal, but of course career-wise as an influencer, and just looking to take things to the next level. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's pretty much it, and I will see you guys in my next video.